Alright, so I decided to make this tutorial after getting a similar message sent to my Facebook. This will be an informative tutorial about internet security, more specifically making awareness of phishing websites and Trojan programs. The tutorial will consist of 4 parts, the first being defining terms and quick review of IP addressing and obscuring a URL. The second part will be showing what a phishing website is. The third part will be showing what a Trojan horse virus is. And the final part will be a code review of the program I made using Visual Basic.net programming language. The code review will be in a separate video, and I will post a link to that below this video within the next couple of days. Trojan horse is a type of malware that stands alone as a potentially malicious program. It's successful because it masquerades its payload or its fundamental purpose. For example, if a user were to download a game off the internet, while it may not be apparent to the user, the game is actually performing its payload in the background. So a few examples of a payload are data theft, downloading or uploading files to the user's computer, keystroke logging, or even watching the user's screen from a remote location. As maybe you've already correlated the term Trojan horse virus with the Trojan horse story in Greek mythology. They both kind of hide their purpose, their true intention. So spammers will often use long names in their links to disguise it themselves. The URL can be up to 255 characters long. Whenever it's this long, it wraps itself in the URL box. So this long URL right here would show up something like this in your URL. Another thing spammers will do is they will try and register their website names closely to the websites that they are trying to spoof. For example, Microsoft and Microsoft. So the first question to test your knowledge is, where do you think this website will take you? Where do you think this URL will take you? If you guess Facebook, then the video will probably be beneficial, as this is the incorrect answer. So I will enter this just to show you. So take note, www.facebook.com at 1077857196/resources.html. So it's cpp./www.facebook.com at 1077857196. So we can see that Facebook went away, and now we have this 6462.203.172 number. And this will not load correctly. I put in the wrong protocol. So here we are. As you can see, this is not Facebook. This is anti-phishing.org. So again, take note of the 6462.203.172. Alright, so how does the Facebook URL get us to that anti-phishing.org website that we just saw? Well, the first answer is because the @ symbol. Everything in between the HTTP protocol and the @ symbol, in this case, is irrelevant. This is a feature that's used for authentication to a web page, but if the web page does not require authentication, the authentication text in effect is ignored by both the browser and the server. The second answer is because internet names translate into numbers called IP addresses. The IP address is normally seen in dotted decimal format, so that anti-phishing.org translates into the 6462.203.172 number that we saw. You can see that by entering the website into command prompt if you ping it. So we will ping anti-phishing.org, and here you can see 6462.203.172. Alright, so now back to the 1077.85.7196. How does this direct us to anti-phishing.org? Well, that's because the IP address, the 6462 number, can be expressed in multiple ways. One of those ways is DWORD. DWORD essentially consists of 2 binary words of 16 bits, but it's expressed in decimal base 10 format. So the DWORD equivalent to this IP address is this right here, the 1077 number. Alright, so just to reiterate, whatever comes before the @ symbol does not matter if the web page does not require authentication. Now I start tutorial. So here I get this message from my best friend. As you can see, it's saying I can stalk my ex-girlfriend and view hidden and private profiles. Oh, cool, right? I'm gonna do that. It's from your friend. It's legitimate. You have a Facebook account, so alright, let's click on the link. Here we are taking a Facebook. This is the phishing website that I created. So, as you might be able to tell, it doesn't, something's not right, it doesn't look right. I didn't take a whole lot of time designing it, but someone who was committed, to phish, could have took a little more time and made it more realistic. So here's the actual Facebook, and here's the phishing Facebook I created. And if we hover over right here, we can see the extension to Facebook.com @ so you already know that's not Facebook URL. Alright, so let's log in our credentials. I'm just gonna, it'd work the same way as if you log in or sign up right here, but I'm just gonna enter random stuff. Alright, so let's sign up. Alright, we get an error message. Alright, so in fact this was a phishing website. What this actually did is it emailed me as the phisher, all the credentials you just signed up with. So you can see their first name's Tyler, their last name is Lang, their email is langer@aol.com, their password 22222, their sex is, well, they're not sure what their sex is, and the birthday is April 3rd, 1989. Alright, now moving on. Here's the Trojan. Alright, so this is, again, I didn't take a whole lot of time designing, but just to, get the feel for environment. Here we are at Microsoft.com. We're getting ready to download MSN Messenger. Alright, our download has been completed. So again, if we were to enter our credentials here, that would be emailed to us. Another feature I will show you is a Trojan downloading a dropper. What a dropper is, essentially what it's doing is it's creating a file to one of your directories and calling out to its website to download malware. So I have that right here. However, if this was a Trojan program, they would not have create dropper right here. That would be, the code would be connected to the connect box or something. But just for example. So go to music, and here we can see the two files just created. So this would be dropper. This would be the code would be. This is where the code would be to call out to the URL to download the malware. But I'm not wanting to download malware, so I just put in the date, today's date. So people might say, well, hey, if I can view the URL of that text, then I know that's malware. No big deal or whatever, right? Well, I'm not always correct, because if they were to encrypt that data, then you have no idea what's going on unless you can decrypt that data. So here's an example of that decrypted data of the date. Right now, someone very good at programming and were very persistent and really had a purpose to get some more information. They could take it further. Actually giving you MSN Messenger. So here we are, MSN Messenger, having a conversation with our father. Alright, so to show you something else that Trojan program could have done was, you see right here, that conversation we just had was emailed. So Cindy says, hi father. Fisher, which was the father, says, hi daughter, I love you. I love you too, daughter. So, in this case, no big deal, but if you were entering sensitive information here, that's obviously not good. Another thing it did username and password. So that the MSN, whenever we logged in, I didn't log in with the username or password, so this is blank. But something else it did was files found in the documents directory. Send these documents, bank statements. So we got our bank statements, we got a love letter, juicy love letter, alright, and credit card information. So something this Trojan virus did was it looked in send these directories, telling us all the text documents that were in there. So that's obviously not good. And that's a final tutorial. So thank you for watching this tutorial, and remember to check your URL when surfing the website, and make sure you are downloading files from trustworthy sources.